Intense debate? Oh my god, this episode from the Loud House sucks. Here are the reasons why this episode sucks in my opinion. The story begins at the Loud House, with all 11 siblings in Lori and Leanie's room having a meeting to discuss what they'll do, with Luan delivering a terrible pun, much to the chagrin of her brother and sisters. Lori uses her shoe as a gavel while announcing that the last minutes of their meeting will be for approval. Lori asks her younger sisters and brother if they have any new business. Lincoln eagerly raises his hand, as Lori pretends not to notice him, and repeats herself, with Lincoln still having his hand raised. Lincoln gets fed up, and Lori states she was joking with him and lets him talk. Lincoln says their annual vacation to Scratchy Bottom campgrounds is upon them, and his sisters groan in despair. Lynn says bears steal their food, as she plays with Lily, who roars. Leanie laments that they sleep on the ground. Lola adds that they poop in the woods, but Lana says she enjoys pooping in the woods, and Lisa says that the mosquitoes are the size of weasels. Lincoln chimes in by mentioning the terrifying scary hill people hiding in the trees, annoying his sisters who all state the hill people are non-existent. Lincoln makes a point about going somewhere different as he holds 2 pamphlets saying Aloha Beach in Dairyland Park, showing them to his sisters. Lori says their parents would never go for it. Lincoln wonders how are they to truly know without asking them, and comes to the conclusion that he will ask them first. The others agree with Lincoln. Annoyed, Lori asks if the group is all in favor of Lincoln's idea of asking their parents. Fortunately, everyone happily raises their hands. Outnumbered and agitated, Lori says motion passes. Mom and Dad agree with Lincoln, much to his joy. When he informs everyone, they are super excited, except for Lori, who's dismayed. Lori asks her brother which of the 2 places they chose. He says they didn't say, so only they get to decide. Lincoln asks which of his 10 sisters prefer Aloha Beach. Lori, Leanie, Lucy, Lola, and Lily raise their hands. Luna is surprised that Lucy chose to go to the beach, and the reason being is 2 words, shark attack. He asks who wants to go to Dairyland. Luna, Luan, Lynn, Lana, and Lisa raise their hands. Leanie is ecstatic that it's 5-on-5, but Lynn kindly explains to Leanie that it's a tie. Lola points out that Lincoln didn't vote, because he is having trouble choosing which is better. He said he loves the beach, like the ones, Lori, Leanie, Lucy, Lola, and Lily, who voted for the beach all cheer while the others jeer. But he also loves Dairyland, so the ones, Luna, Luan, Lynn, Lana, and Lisa, who voted for Dairyland cheer while the others jeer. Lincoln can't decide and tells them he needs time, but he'll pick by the end of the day. His sisters reluctantly agree and end the meeting. In his room with both pamphlets, Lincoln knows that regardless of what he chooses for their vacation, 5 sisters will be upset with him, and making a decision is going to be rough for him. Lola greets him and has a silver tray in her hand, which contains a stack of pancakes. She says that he can't make a big decision on an empty stomach, and he thanks her and she leaves. As he eats, Lynn also greets him, saying she can ease all the pressure with a relaxing massage. She grabs his head, throws him up in the air, and, after landing on his bed, she begins massaging. While she massages him, Lincoln feels awkward, yet relaxed. Later, Lincoln is wearing a bathrobe and he is walking to the bathroom. He walks in, and much to his shock, he finds Lori on the toilet reading a magazine. She tells him to take a shower. Lincoln feels uncomfortable, as Lori tells him to take a long one and reveals she clears the bathroom schedule, while Leanie, Lola, Lucy, and Lily are all standing at the door. Lincoln asks his 5 sisters if they're trying to get him to go to the beach. They say no, while Leanie states she thought that they were, much to their annoyance. They all sigh. After his shower, Lincoln hears a noise from his door. Turns out Luna, Luan, Lana, Lisa, and Lynn are all cleaning his room. He asks if they're trying to get his vote to Dairyland. They say no, but Lisa states they obviously are. They all resume cleaning. Lincoln says deciding where to go might be not so bad. He walks down the stairs to see Team Beach all dressed as hula dancers, except Lucy, who wears only the skirt and flower. As they say aloha, Lori gives him a lei, a flower necklace, Lucy gives him a Hawaiian shirt, Lola presents him sunglasses, Lily gives him a pineapple drink, and Leanie presents with him a bunch of papers. Lincoln is confused and asks Leanie what the papers are. Leanie reveals that it's his homework and she says it's all done. Lincoln asks her if she did it. Lori reveals she did it, which eases Lincoln. In the kitchen, Lincoln sees someone, Luan, in the Dairyland mascot costume of Tippy the cow come over to talk to him. Lincoln is overjoyed to see Tippy. Luan, in her Tippy costume, gives Lincoln his laundry and puts another hat on his head. He thanks her and leaves. Lola sees the whole thing and is aware that it was a trick, so she shakes her fist in anger before she walks off. In Lincoln's room, Lori and the others set up his room like a beach, and they take off the other hat. They promise him if he votes for the beach, the fun will never stop. Leanie agrees, and she gives him a conch to blow into as a signal if he needs anything from them. Unbeknownst to the six of them, Lana saw the whole thing, making her angrily shut the door. At the table in the dining room, Lincoln eats a bowl of cereal. Then, his chair is suddenly dragged by Team Tippy, all wearing other hats. They move him around the table like a roller coaster and he enjoys the ride. Luan says if he votes for Dairyland, he'll have 2% more fun, as she pours milk into Lincoln's cereal and laughs to herself at her joke. Lisa gives him a cowbell to use as a signal if he needs anything from them. A montage shows the 10 sisters doing favors for Lincoln. It's the end of the day and Lincoln's sisters want to know his final vote, but he says he needs one more day to decide. Enraged, Lola wants to hurt Lincoln, but Lori restrains Lola before she can and they leave. Lincoln says to the viewers if he chooses either place, 5 sisters are going to hate him. Later, it cuts into Lori and Leanie's room. The girls are trying to make the beach better for Lincoln, but Lola gets an idea of how to make Dairyland worse for their brother. Her sisters nod in agreement. The next day, Lincoln rushes to the bathroom, only to see Lori and the others in the line. As he waits, Lincoln finds the toilet covered in tape and a sign saying, "Sorry. This ride is temporarily closed," much to Lincoln's frustration. Lynn runs up, peeps in the peephole, and realizes, she's furious. Lincoln uses the bathtub, only for cold water to be pouring on him. It reveals Lisa was behind it. Then, a montage plays with the two groups sabotaging Lincoln's chances, like putting sand in Lincoln's underwear, and burning his skin with sodium hydrochloride, posing it off as sunblock. Once they find out they've been sabotaging each other and they have a furious argument, Lincoln becomes fed up with his sisters. Lynn lividly says this is all his fault. Lori agrees and states if he would have made up his mind in the first place, this wouldn't have happened. Lincoln has only one chance of making this work. Lincoln says they are going to the campgrounds, much to their surprise, and Lori claims it will be the worst vacation ever, but at the campgrounds, her opinion changes. She says it's the best. It turns out Lincoln is actually doing favors for all of his sisters. Lincoln says it isn't much fun for him, but he's satisfied with his sister's enjoyment on the vacation. The tree people were indeed real, and Lincoln runs away in complete terror as the episode ends. And that's how the episode goes. If you haven't seen it, don't watch it. It's a waste of time. I don't know who likes or hates this episode. So I'm gonna leave it be. So screw intense debate. And screw no such luck. Roadie to Nowhere is 789,000 times better than intense debate. End of rant.